What's up, guys? So recently, social media influencer slash political activist Charlie Kirk was basically murdered while doing a live event where he was at I believe it was the College of Utah, and he's like basically just like doing his normal thing, just talking to like students, his Prove Me Wrong campaign, just like talking to a bunch of people. And while he was doing the campaign, he wound up getting like shot, and they had to like rush him to the hospital, but unfortunately he didn't survive. Now, first, before I go on with this video, like condolences to like Charlie and I guess his family. Is like no one necessarily deserves to go through that. It is fucked up, but also at the same time, in light of seeing how a lot of people are reacting to it, I do have to say, just to be the person to kind of like rip off that band-aid, I do think it is wrong how a lot of people are reacting, but at the same time, you have to be honest, I'm not really shocked. Like shocked? No. But do I think it's morally wrong? Yeah. But when you look at like, how would I say, if anybody does even but like a 10 to 15 minute research video, honestly, then just research some of the things that he said. All you have to do is get on really Twitter, type in his name. I mean, now might not be the time to type in his name really on Twitter, but if you go and you like type it in, like you'll see a bunch of like compilations and stuff of like some of the things that he said that was kind of wrong. And like honestly, I'm not going to sit here and just like play a bunch of his videos and stuff and just kind of like get you guys on like a whole hate train thing. Like I just kind of wrote down some of the quotes. We'll just kind of go through them and then just kind of talk about like the hypocrisy or like really the irony in it, and then after that's it. Let's go. But basically, one that he said that was weird was he was saying that they should bring back like public executions, just make it like quick, it should be televised, just like rip it off like a band-aid, right? Okay. Another one that he said was if he saw like a black pilot or a black doctor, he would be like he would think that they're unqualified, and that would be like his basic, like his first thought. Another one that he said was black people were better off in the 1940s. He said yes, it was evil, but the crime rates were lower. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Another one that he said was when talking about he name dropped like three or four black women before, but then he said he was like, they don't have the brain processing power to be taken serious, so they have to steal a white person's slot. Then last but not least, which I think this is the most ironic, but he said some gun deaths are necessary to keep the Second Amendment rights. And now what I will say, like, I'm not saying just because he had these opinions bro deserved it. It's not true. But also at the same time, you guys have to do kind of like look at the irony in it. While he said all of these things, while some of them come off hateful, some of them come off bigoted, whatever, he obsessed over race, he obsessed over things like gun violence, gang violence, things like that. Everybody applauded him and everybody cheered on, and no one ever had an issue with it. But the second that it happened to be him that was at the end of being at the end of the statistic, now it's an issue. Then to me, when I look at it, I'm like, yeah, that is a lot of hypocrisy, because you guys would laugh and you guys would make fun of other people when they would die all the time, and you guys would do that all the time. And then now that he happens to be on the end of it, you guys don't look at it. It's not funny anymore, is it? And to me, I'm like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I never thought it was funny in the first place. But when I look at that, I'm like, no, you guys should keep that same energy. Don't try to switch it up now just because the person who is turning and saying all this shit is the one who winded up being the one who was in this quote unquote public execution. So to me, when I look at that, I'm like, I will say, like, you guys kind of have to be more wary of some of these things, be a little bit more aware. Like, I'm not going to sit here and like really lecture your guy's head off and everything, because it's like, honestly, I don't really care to talk about him that much. I'm going to keep it real. What I will say that's really weird is he focused on racial issues a lot. He focused on gun violence a lot. All of this focus, not really ever thinking that the problem might be close to him, just to wind up getting shot in one of the literal whitest places in America. And like, yeah, it's ironic, but at the same time, you guys have to consider this is somebody who didn't care about black on black violence at all. When people would try to mention these things to him, he just didn't give a fuck. So now that he happens to be on the end of the same statistic, and it's like you're always turning and you're like, oh, well, like black people are at a higher chance of like being like their kids being raised in a single parent home and all that, and it's like, well, now you happen to be kind of in that same statistic now. That's the irony. That's really the irony. And it's like, I'm sorry, but it's like, if you guys think that you're going to convince a bunch of people on the internet to necessarily feel bad for him just because it's like how it happened, I think that you're barking up the wrong tree. And I do think that, like, yes, what some of those people are doing are morally wrong, but also at the same time, you guys have to consider this was a fucked up person. Like he said a lot of fucked up shit in his life. So when people are reacting like this, you can't really police them on how to react. The same way how he made fun of George Floyd and he made fun of all these people where they had kids, they had families too, and he always made jokes about them and everybody was sitting there laughing, applauding, do the same shit now. But to me, what I will say is there is a message that you guys can kind of learn from this, and it's ultimately how you live your real life will tell people how to celebrate you once you pass away. And I think that that's a message where a lot of people have to look at it. And it's one of those uncomfortable truths that we all have to talk about, because like, if you look this year, Hulk Hogan passed away. People gave him a lot of shit when he passed away because he said some fucked up shit. When Charlie Kirk passed away, it's the same thing. People gave him a lot of shit because he said some fucked up shit. But then when you look on the other side, Ozzy Osbourne also passed away this year. But when Ozzy Osbourne passed away, it wasn't the same. People were just like, oh, remember the time when he bit the head off a bat? Remember the time when he did this crazy thing, when he got Sharon roses, all these different things? No one was on the internet trying to call him a piece of shit. So all I'm saying is how you actively live your everyday life will tell everybody how to treat you when you are no longer here, or will tell everybody how to talk about you when you're no longer here. So if you guys can't really understand that, I hate to be the one to break those news to you. Figure it out. Figure it the fuck out. All right, Bostondalamb, I will catch you on the next one. Adios.